Like I said, this one takes a little bit longer because it's a bigger book, but I had to, section it off. My back's hurting, sorry. I forgot what it. I'm not afraid of getting hurt. I'm afraid of he reaches out, pushing her fingers against hers. I'm not afraid of getting hurt. I'm afraid of losing you. Her heart stuttered. She didn't pull her hand away. He squeezed gently. Ray, whatever changed in you, we'll figure it out. She nodded slowly. I can feel him, but I can feel you too. His eyes softened. Good, then hold on to that. She leaned back against the pillow, exhaustion pulling at her. Beast Boy's voice dropped to a whisper. Ray, I'm not going anywhere. Her eyes fluttered closed, not in fear, but in trust. Stay, she murmured. I will. And as she drifted into sleep, the faint whisper of the villain echoed in the back of her mind. You can't hide from me. This time another voice, warm, steady, familiar, pushed back. She's not alone. Raven slept. Beast Boy watched over her, and somewhere in the shadows of her mind a storm gathered. Chapter 19. The Echo That Follows. Raven begins to experience strange new abilities, and the villain's influence twists them in dangerous ways. Beast Boy is the first to notice the change. The tower was quiet, too quiet. Raven stood in the hallway outside the medbay, her cloak brushing the floor, her fingers curled tightly around the railing. She's been awake for only an hour, but everything felt wrong. Her senses were sharper, too sharp. She could hear the hum of every light, the heartbeat of every teammate, the faintest shift of the air against the windows, and beneath it all a whisper, not words, a presence. She closed her eyes, trying to breathe through it. Ray, Beast Boy's voice drifted from behind her, soft and careful, like he was approaching her during the beginning. She didn't turn. You should be resting. So should you. He stepped beside her, leaning on the railing. His shoulder brushed against hers. A small touch, but grounding. You okay? He asked. She hesitated. No. He nodded. Good, because you don't have to pretend with me. Her breath caught. He always said the right thing without trying. She finally looked at him, and he froze. Her eyes were violet, but glowing faintly, not with power, with something else, something new. Ray, he whispered, her eyes. She blinked and the glow vanished. I don't know what's happening, she admitted. I feel different. Different how? She swallowed, stronger, but not in a good way. Before he could respond, a mug on the table behind him shattered, without her touching it. Beast Boy jumped. Okay, that wasn't you, right? Raven's voice trembled. I didn't mean to. He stepped closer. Ray, look at me. She did. You're not losing control, he said. Something's messing with you. She shook her head. No, something's changing you. The lights flickered overhead. Beast Boy instinctively moved in front of her, shielding her from nothing and everything. Garfield, she whispered, I can't feel him. He's different, the villain? She nodded. He's weaker, but he's still connected, and now I think he's trying something new. Beast Boy's jaw tightened. Then we cut him off. It's not that simple. Then we make it simple. She almost smiled. Almost. But the whisper in her mind grew louder. You can't run from where you are. Raven flinched, grabbing her head. Ray, Beast Boy caught her as she staggered. Her knees buckled, and he lowered her gently to the floor, holding her upright. Talk to me, he said, voice shaking. What's happening? Her eyes left open, glowing bright violet now, swirling with streaks of red. I'm hearing him, she whispered, but I'm also hearing something else. Beast Boy felt something else. She nodded, trembling. It's like a part of me woke up, something I didn't know was there. The air around them vibrated. The book flew off a shelf. A picture frame cracked. The floor beneath them hummed with energy. Beast Boy tightened his grip on her shoulders. Raven, breathe. I can't, she gasped. It's too much. He pulled her into his arms, grounding her with his warmth. I've got you. Focus on me. Her breathing slowed, barely. The glow in her eyes dimmed, barely. The whisper in her mind didn't fade. It grew. You open the door, now let me in. Raven's body jerked violently. Beast Boy held her tight. Ray, stay with me. She clutched his shirt, voice breaking. Garfield, something's coming. He swallowed hard, then we faced it together. Her eyes flickered, violet, red, violet again. Garfield whispered, I'm scared. He pressed his forehead to hers. I know, but I'm not letting you go. The lights went out. The tower plunged in the darkness. Raven's eyes glowed in the dark, brighter than ever. Chapter 20, The Darkness That Answers. The tower goes into lockdown. Raven's new abilities spiral out of control. The villain reveals the true purpose of the connection, and Beast Boy refuses to let her fall. Tower lights didn't just flicker, they died. Every screen, every panel, every emergency backup went back at black at the same time. A suffocating darkness swallowed the room whole. Raven's eyes were the only source of light. Violet, red, violet again. Beast Boy tightened his grip on her shoulders. Ray, stay with me. She shook violently, breath coming in sharp, uneven gasps. I can't stop it. Impulsive energy rippled out from her chest, knocking Beast Boy back a step. The air vibrated, humming with unstable power. Cyborg's voice crackled through the comms. Distorted panic. Power grid's down. Something's overriding the power systems. Excuse me. Robin shouted in the background, "Everyone to Raven's location now." But Raven didn't hear them. Excuse me, she heard him. He opened the door. Her knees buckled. She dropped to the floor, clutching her head. Raven, Beast Boy rushed to her, sliding to his knees beside her. "Talk to me." The voice came out layered, distorted. "He's inside. Pull him." Beast Boy grabbed her hands. "Fight him." She shook her head violently. "I can't. He's stronger." "No," Beast Boy said fiercely. "You're stronger." Another pulse of energy exploded outward, cracking the floor beneath them. Beast Boy held on anyway, refusing to let go. The villain's voice echoed through the darkness. "You can't fight what you are." Raven screamed, a raw, agonizing sound that tore through the room. Her power surged, shadows spiraling around her like a cyclone. Beast Boy pulled her into his arms, grounding her with everything he had. "Ray, look at me." Her eyes snipped open, glowing bright red. Garfield's whispered voice trembling, "Run." He shook his head, not happening. The shadows lunged at him, but instead of attacking, they wrapped around him like tendrils of smoke, testing him tastily. He didn't flinch. "Raven," he whispered, cupping her face, "come back to me." Her voice hitched. The red flow flickered. For a moment she was Raven again. Then the villain's voice cut through her mind like a blade. "Let me in." Raven convulsed, crying out as the red shimmer spread across her skin like cracks in porcelain. Beast Boy held her tighter. "Ray, fight him." She shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "I can't. He's taking—" "No," Beast Boy said, voice breaking. "He's not taking anything." He pressed his forehead to hers. "You're not alone." Her eyes flickered violet fighting red. Sorry about that. The villain snarled through her mind. "You belong to me." Raven screamed again, but this time the sound wasn't fear, it was fury. The shadows exploded outward, slamming Beast Boy back into the wall. He hit hard, sliding to the floor. "God!" Raven gasped, reaching toward him, but her hand froze midair, trembling violently. The villain's voice twisted through her thoughts. "Finish it." Raven's body jerked forward, her hand raising, power gathering in her palm. Beast Boy forced himself to his feet, staggering. "Ray, don't do this." Her eyes glowed red, her hand shook, her breath coming in broken sobs. "God, I can't stop." "Yes, you can," he said, stepping toward her despite the danger. "Because you don't want to hurt me." Her hand trembled harder. The energy in her palm flickered. "Guard," she choked, "please get away." He shook his head, no. He took another step. "Garfield," she cried, voice cracking. "I can't control it." "I know," he said softly, "so let me." He reached her. He took her shaking hand in his. The energy sputtered. The red glow dimmed. Her eyes widened, violet pushing through the red. "Garfield," she whispered, collapsing into him. "I'm sorry." He held her tight. "You don't have anything to be sorry for." The villain's voice roared through the tower. "This isn't over." The lights flickered back on. Raven went limp in Beast Boy's arms. He caught her, lowering her gently to the floor. "Ray," he whispered, brushing her hair from her face. "Stay with me." Her eyes fluttered open, faint, violent, exhausted. Garfield shivered. He's getting stronger. Beast Boy swallowed hard, pulling her close. "And so are we." Somewhere deep inside Raven's mind, the door creaked open. Chapter 21. The face behind the mask. The Titans uncovered the villain's true identity, and the truth shakes Raven to her core. The tower was still running on emergency power. Dim lights. Sorry, my back is hurting. The thin screens, a low hum of generators struggling to keep up. Raven sat at the center of the command room, cloak wrapped tightly around her. Beast Boy looked at her side. She looked exhausted, pale, trembling, eyes still faintly glowing, but she was awake, and she was listening. Cyber worked furiously at the console, rerouting power and pulling up corrupted data. Whoever hijacked the tower systems left a trail, a messy one. Robin paced behind him. "Can you trace it?" "I'm trying," Cyber muttered, "but this guy's psychic signature is all over the place. It's like he's layered." Sapphire hovered anxiously. "Layered?" "Yeah," Cyber said, "like he's not just one person." Raven stiffened. "He's going to notice me, right?" She shook her head. "I don't know, but I feel him. He's close." Robin turned her. "Close as in physically, or close as in he's watching?" she whispered. The room felt silent. Cyborg's console beeped sharply. "Got something." Everyone crowded around the screen. The distorted image appeared static, glitching, but unmistakably the masked villain. Red energy pulsed around him, warping the footage. Robin frowned. This is from the street cameras downtown. Cyber nodded. Yeah, but watch. He scrubbed the footage back. The villain floated above the street, cloak billowing, and Cyber slowed the footage. Rainbow flame, the mask flickered once, twice, then it glitched completely, revealing the face beneath. Raven gasped. These boys' eyes widened. No way. Starfire covered mouth. It cannot be. Robin stepped closer to the screen, voice low. Cyber, when hands down. Cyber zoomed in. The image sharpened. The villain's true face appeared. A man with pale skin, dark hair, sharp features, eyes glowing red with corrupted power. Raven staggered back, breath catching in her throat. Ray, Beast Boy grabbed her arm. Ray, what is it? Her voice came out barely audible. I know him. Robin turned sharply. Who is he? Raven swallowed hard from him. His name is Arcus. Starfire Leaf. Is he of Azeroth? Raven nodded slowly. He was one of the Elder Eklund, a scholar of forbidden magic. He believed emotions were a source of power, not something to control, but something to unleash. Robin's eyes narrowed, and he targeted you. Raven closed her eyes. He tried to recruit me when I was younger. He said I was the key, that my emotions were stronger than any exploits. His boy's jaw clenched, and you said no. Raven nodded. I refused. I left him behind when it came to Earth. Cyber frowned, so he followed you? No, Raven whispered. He died. The room froze. Robin stared at her. Died. Raven nodded again, voice trembling. He attempted a ritual to transcend physical form. If it consumed him, that would have declared him lost. He spoke smiled, but he's not lost. Raven's eyes filled with dread. No, he succeeded. The screen flickered again. Arcus's face twisted into a cruel smile. Cyber's tonsils beat. There's more. He pulled up a second file. A psychic imprint recovered from the tower's corrupted systems. A voice recorded. Arcus's voice. Raven, my prodigy. My perfect vessel. Open the door, now let me in. Raven flinched violently, grabbing her head. Beast Boy wrapped an arm around her shoulders. Ray, breathe. She shook, eyes glowing faintly. He wants my power, all of it. He wants to use me to finish what he started. Robin's voice hardened. Don't stop him. Raven looked up, fear and fury swirling her eyes. You don't understand, she whispered. He's not just connected to me. Cyber frowned. What do you mean? Raven's voice cracked. He's inside me. Beast Boy tugged tight in his hold. Let me get him out. Raven shook her head. It's not that simple. He didn't just link to my mind, he linked to my soul. The room went silent. Starfire floated closer, eyes wide with worry. Then Raven, how do we sever such a bond? Raven looked at the screen, at Arthur's face, staring back at her. We don't, she whispered. We confront him. Beast Boy stepped in front of her, determination burning in his eyes. Let me do it together. Raven met his gaze, and for the first time since the connection began, she didn't look afraid. She looked ready, but deep inside her mind, Arcus whispered, come find me, and Raven shivered. Okay, before I get to chapter 22, I have to go to the bathroom, and I'll do part 7. Peace.